Hi, everybody. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscription. This is the daily forecast. It is for all signs, and it's to be used or actually, this is the weekly, but it's to be used whenever you see it. It's originally created for Sunday, the 9th of October through Saturday, the 15th of October. But if you're seeing it on a different date and it still fits, by all means, utilize the reading when you're seeing it, right? Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, guy. I'm feeling this late. I've been sleeping on it off and on all morning. I think you can hear it in my voice. I'm very congested. I'm not sure what's going on today. I'm going to try and get through this reading as best I can. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath the video. In there is housekeeping rules, things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel. What else? Oh, what decks I'm using and how to contact me on social media for a private reading or how to follow me. There's simple ways you can support the channel. God, this reading may be awful. This weekly reading, you guys. I'm just out of it. Simple ways to support the channel. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Please share the video out. Leave me a question or comment. Let me know, if these videos are resonating. I really appreciate all of it. Each one of these cards that I pull will signify for maybe a day or two, possibly 3, depending on, how you're moving through your week. Some of you may experience all of these cards and then some, or some of you might experience only one of these cards. All this is all very flexible, so keep that in mind when utilizing the readings. Basically, it's like a take what you need and leave the rest kind of situation. And so let's see what's going on with the cards. And the crappy part with this is that because my nose is so stuffed up, I've been mouth breathing at night. So my lips are chapped. I am a mess. My lips are chapped. It's just a mess. All right, so for the beginning of the week, we have Temperance. I'll take her. I need her. Temperance is associated with the sign of Sagittarius, right? It is major arcana, but it's a very peaceful, beautiful energy. It's about maintaining a balance, a peace within oneself, taking a higher road oftentimes. It's usually depicted by an angel, right? So, we can definitely use some of that angelic energy or that, compassion, sweetness, kindness, gentleness, whether we're bringing that to a situation or we're allowing that to be brought to us or just maintaining a focus towards that. That would be what we would want to do in the early part of this week. If things are, I don't want to say this. I feel like the week should start off gently because Temperance is a very gentle card. But if things, for those of you that are in like more tumultuous situations or, a little bit things that aren't feeling very gentle, then the indication here would be to maintain that like middle of the road kind of way. Don't let yourself be rocked. Stay peaceful, stay calm, stay centered, stay in your higher sort of sense of well-being and self, right? Knowing you're protected, you have the answers, you have the wisdom, you have the care, the kindness, whatever to see your way through this. There's a real gentleness to this card that we want to instill within ourselves or within situations around us so that, we can start the week off quite beautifully and nicely. The other interesting thing is, I forgot to mention, this is Aries full moon, and then we have the 10-10 portal on Monday. So, between the full moon, which is about releasing, and Aries is a lot about kind of taking action. And then I believe Pluto goes direct, isn't it, tonight, the 8th? So there's a lot of stuff going on planetarily that's happening like consecutively, like boom, boom, boom. So this Temperance card to me would speak to not, sorry, I'm so stuffed up I can barely breathe when I close my mouth. Not allowing our boat to be rocked, even if the full moon is making people act hinky or, whatever, or even let's use the full moon as an example. If we are releasing stuff this full moon, right? If we're letting things go or And that's also part of Pluto's influence going direct to Pluto's the great dark transformer, right? He's going to bring stuff to the surface that we may need to let go of. Temperance reminds us to do so with a grace, with a beauty, with a peace, that a gentleness that is going to allow it to be fully released without there being in sort of any pain or discomfort. Not to say that situations won't attempt to try and bring us pain or discomfort, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to allow them to affect us or, wind us up into their drama, if that makes sense. Now let's go to the midweek card. We have 9 of Swords. There's that drama. Swords is the element of air, right? And it is our thoughts, how we communicate. The 9 of Swords is about personal endings, or coming to personal conclusions with a certain scenario or situation, oftentimes depicted around fears, nightmares, worries. Some of us could find us, worrying in the middle of the week, or dealing with people that are caught up in their own fears of what if. That's very much a 9 of Swords energy of, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh my God, I can't do this because that might happen. So there could be some of that in the midweek for us, or we could be experiencing that. I don't know why all of these swords pointed at her feel like there's a lot of attention on us in the midweek. And I feel like that attention, it doesn't feel pleasant. Let's just say that. I don't get so much. I get that she's in a bed and I feel this nightmare, idea to it, because that's just a traditional 9 of Swords meaning. But when I'm looking at this almost feels like, I don't know why, but I'm feeling like the criticisms of others. So if others are communicating criticisms, judgments, or anything towards us that's bringing us grief, I kind of feel like this card is indicating to us to go back to the Temperance if we can. The way that she's centered, she's somewhat protected and safe where she is. And we need to remember that if we are dealing with any sort of fears, worries, unfounded truths, or even the criticisms of others, reminding ourselves that we can kind of create a safe space for ourselves. I'm going to shout out my friend Darlene, who's out there. She just decided to take a respite for a few days, and I kind of get a feeling like this is that action, like pulling inward. This is not a traditional 9 of Swords meaning, but her in this bed feels like, you know what, screw this, I'm gonna go hole up in my house and wait for this to pass. And that's sort of like also aligns with that Temperance energy of not engaging in things that don't serve us, whether it be thoughts, communications, other people's thoughts, worries, or fears. Be conscious of them. Yes, they exist. Yes, they're out there. We might, even be creating them on our own mind. But we can also, there's something about the 2 flowers on either side of the bed too, that right here and here, that make me feel like there's still a balance and a protection going on, even amidst the sort of stress, worry, mulling over that the 9 of Swords would bring. Does that make sense? So I feel like we can move ourselves through this if we are stressed or worried, or if there's other people's stresses and worries that are coming at us, or that we're trying to, they're trying to leave at our doorstep, so to speak, or bring to us. We can still create like a safe, comfortable space to like kind of maybe face these things and come to that number 9 completion with them, where we, actually let them go, face them. It's not necessarily about fixing them as much as it's about realizing that, oh yeah, I see you exist. That's maybe not working for me, so I need to let you go, kind of thing. Not necessarily avoid it. I don't feel like there's an avoidance here. I feel more like it's like I almost feel like she set herself up in a safe space, so she can look at these things, right? So she can deal with them, so that she can face them head on. And that might be some of that Aries full moon energy too, right? With the Pluto great transformer, the things that are coming to the surface, if they are upsetting, negative, scary, I kind of get a feeling we're okay with it. Like we're kind of like, I want to say like she's geared up and ready to go to war, but I don't feel like she's at war, right? She's in her bed, but it's like she's created a safe space for herself to like maybe look at some of these things, think some of these thoughts, work her way through some of these ideas that maybe are not serving her in a way that's comfortable to her, right? Not necessarily stressful or harmful. I don't get that stress that I would get from a normal Nine of Swords. And some of us, like I said, there is this feeling of those swords almost being an outward criticism from others or situations of us. It could be us, running our perceptions of ourselves through a filter of what society thinks we should do, right? But this work to me feels very much personal, singular, if that makes sense. Even with the Temperance card in the beginning of the week, the focus is really like kind of within us, on us, in our mind, in our heart, sort of thing. And the end of the week, I will take it. Justice. Get it. So, Justice is also air energy, but she feels like the ironing out of that Nine of Swords, whatever that is for you. And each one of you is going to experience this differently, whether it's your own thoughts or the perceptions of others and the thoughts of others and what they're communicating to you. Whatever's coming at us that might be causing us headache, or I don't get the sense that Nine of Swords is about worry. It's more about like looking at the thing that I don't want to say we've been avoiding it, but maybe something that needs to be addressed that is uncomfortable to address it. So we set ourselves up to address it in such a way, like we almost create comfort. That's those flowers in that bed that she's in the Nine of Swords. It's like we create a comfortable environment for ourselves so that we can explore the thoughts, the ideas, or discuss them, or face them, have communication around them. If it's those of you that are dealing with this maybe in a relationship, that brings about justice. And to me, justice is about the truth coming out, the balance being restored, our thoughts being re-empowered to a place that's, fair, right, good, centered again. So for some of you, justice can also mean like even like a legal scenario playing out in our favor, right? But ultimately, justice is for the good of all, right? So I feel like even if we do feel as though we're struggling a little bit in the midweek with that Nine of Swords, whether it's our situation or someone else's situation, or a situation that we're involved in with someone else, be it a boss, a lover, a family member, whomever, it will iron itself out. The truth, hold on, I need more coffee. My throat is so dry. The truth will set you free, right? Lady Justice will come in. She will bring in that Libran balance. She is associated with the sign of Libra. We're still in Libra season, so I'm not mad at her presence here. And I have to say this too, that Temperance card being about being associated with Sag. Sag is fire, so fire is going to complement the air energy that's going on. So I really feel like when I look at the three of these cards, because Temperance is about balance also, just in a different way. Justice is almost like, to me, Temperance is about us maintaining our own internal balance, and then Justice is like the environment or the situation reflecting that balance back to us by week's end. Is there a little bit of work involved? Yes, because the Nine of Swords is in the center. Do we take on the work and do we face it? Yes. Do we do it in a way that's compassionate, kind, and caring to ourselves or others as we do it? Yes, right? And all of that kind of helps us to get to this place of justice where our truth can reign supreme, whatever that truth may be around whatever situation it may be for you. And we can like live solidly within that truth, right? Let's go to the Wild Mystic Oracle. Oh, this is new. What is this? We have twin cats, the mystery. Very cool. Let me look. What are these, just cats? What? Sorry guys, I'm a little out of it. Let me see. Is it cat? It's funny to me because when I look at these and these two little cats like staring at each other underneath this kind of crown, it makes me think of the woman here in Temperance and then the woman here in Justice, kind of bookending the week. And then we have these two cats kind of coming together, like as if this was temperance and this was justice, bringing about balance or a centeredness. I love the triangle, which makes me think of, my thing with pyramids and triangles is the mind, body, spirit connection. So things coming back into balance. Let me see, is it cat? Yes, it is cat. Okay. So let's read the story of mystery. This card represents mystery and magic. From the animal familiars of European folklore and witchcraft to the totems and spirit animals of shamanic practice in many North American indigenous cultures, people the world over have viewed animals as guides into the realm of magic and the inner workings of the soul. This card symbolizes a gateway into magic, mystery, or dream, whether that manifests through faith, spirituality, or magical practice. It's interesting that it says this card symbolizes a gateway into magic, mystery, or dream. The Nine of Swords oftentimes is associated with nightmares, which are, scary dreams. So there could be some sort of gateway through that Nine of Swords that we're dealing with or walking through or completing or finishing off this week. And that's part of the mystery. Cats were sacred animals in ancient Egyptian society and were associated with many deities, including Isis and Bastet. In Norse mythology, cats are said to draw Freya's chariot, while in the Muslim faith, the creatures are revered due to their cleanliness. In Chinese folklore, cats were considered the original caretakers of Earth. This card may represent a powerful magical or divine influence. The cat is both independent and social. They are both caring, empathetic creatures and deadly predators. Cats are complex beings who may be hard to read. This card reminds us that magic can be difficult to interpret, but to trust in what the universe has in store for you. And trust would also be in justice and temperance, very much so, guys. And trusting in the Nine of Swords, like doing the work, facing the fear or whatever it is that, might be challenging us. Shadow reading. On the surface, the shadow reading of this card may warn you of ill omens, malicious individuals, or ill wishes. The black cat has often been maligned by folklore and Christian history as a portent of bad luck and evil. This is primarily a result of the demonization of cats as witches' familiars during the European and early American witch trials and has sadly endured as a superstition today. The shadow meaning of this card may warn you against seeing misfortune or curses where there are none. That would also be Nine of Swords energy too, guys. Superstitions can be a simple coincidence, and bad luck does not necessarily indicate a curse. Now, that's funny because that makes me think that maybe the midweek card could be us spinning out in our head about something that may not even be true. That we might be stuck on, what's the word? I can't even think this morning. Sorry. Where we're fixated on it in a negative manner, and we have to kind of sort that out or figure that out before we can get to the justice card this week. So be mindful of what you're thinking and how you're thinking and what you're focusing on in the midweek. Correspondences are spirit. The flora is primrose, carnation, catnip, cinquefoil, myrrh, and violet. The stones are labradorite, lapis lazuli, merlinite, and opal. And the spellwork is past life regression, divination, seeking answers, amplifying other spellwork, and Samhain ritual. I'm going to do clarifiers. I don't normally with the weeklies, but I did them last week, so I thought I'd do them again. Maybe it'll give us a little perspective on this Nine of Swords in the midweek, because everything else feels really good and balanced. Temperance and justice buffering both ends of this week, being major arcana. This should be a significant week for, truths, foundations, things being set and built for ourselves is my feeling. So let's see what they have to say. First card out is Seven of Pentacles. Is now the time to do the harvest? Is now the time to put in the work? Yes. Choosing carefully what work we put in and where would be the influence of temperance. Looking back or a little bit of reflection as to what got us here wouldn't hurt either. But I don't get a bad feeling from this card at all. It feels more like the work that we put in will pay off later, because this is very much a card about the harvest. Yes, he's resting. Yes, he's reflecting. but he's also kind of assessing what next steps need to be taken from a very grounded place, him being Earth energy and Pentacles energy. The next card is the Knight of Cups. This to me feels like once we've done the work or we've made the assessment, we then get to move forward from a place of compassion, emotional security, and love. We get to sort of be of service either to ourselves or to another within a situation, or even to a situation from a place that is, loyal, true, kind, and even for some of you, maybe romantic. I don't get a lot of romance from this reading, but the Knight of Cups to me is a very romantic card. He's oftentimes an offer of love. I don't think that... I'm going to say this. I feel like this is about us finding a truth out for ourselves rather than from someone else. Does that make sense? And part of that is the Nine of Swords is about personal completions, and then justice being about truth, and temperance being about maintaining our own internal balance. This feels very much about us. So whatever truth or awareness or thing that shifts for us this week, from having done the work and taken the steps, done the reflection, put in the right ingredients, so to speak, it sets us up for success to move forward in a positive, compassionate way. He's on this white horse of purity. So it's almost like we're cleaning up our act a little bit to a degree. Oh, and look at where he's heading, right straight to the Queen of Cups, who he loves to serve. Seeing the Knight and the Queen, this makes me feel like some of you could be cleaning up your relationships. And I don't mean that in a bad way. What I mean is like sort of maybe taking an inventory, remaining calm in the beginning part of the week, not letting things rock you too much, dealing with whatever our own sort of dialogue is around them with the Nine of Swords, and then finding our truth and our wisdom and like restoring a sense of balance, even if that restoration of balance creates change within the relationship. The change will be for the betterment of all involved, especially ourselves. The Seven of Pentacles would indicate the work and the care that's being put into it, the steadiness, the dedication. The Knight would be sort of like, to me, obviously, the masculine, sort of compassionate, loyal, do-gooder aspect of this. The Queen of Cups would be more that feminine, intuitive, natural sort of side of an emotional side of this, right? And I feel like the two cups coming together, or the Knight and the Queen coming together, is sort of a union of maybe our own masculine, feminine, similar to like this mystery card with that triangle where I was saying that our mind, body, and spirit get to come into a little bit of alignment this week. Our hearts or our feelings are going to align too, is my feeling, with that Knight and Queen showing up, whether it's around a situation, a person, or whatever we've been dealing with. There's some stuff that we need to kind of, clear out or let go of through that Nine of Swords that's going to serve us in the long run. Now let's go to the grounding stone. And it's on obsidian, which is, wards off negativity in a very big way. But the word is energy. I think this is just reminding us to maintain our energy this week. Remember when I was saying with that Nine of Swords, and I was talking about my friend Darlene and how she holed herself up and decided not to deal with anybody for a few days, like almost to cleanse her energetic field in a way, or reconnect to herself. I think that might be what this grounding stone is about for us. Connecting to our own mystery, our own wisdom, our own, truth, our own peace through temperance, our own truth through the justice card, our own, hardworking ethic or dedication, ability to create through the Seven of Pentacles, our own truth or energy around love, compassion, serving others through the Knight of Cups. I feel like this is about restoring ourselves to a degree, or setting ourselves up for success for something that's to come. I don't know what that means exactly, but I do get a feeling that this is and that's the mystery card. is something that's to come. Like, we're setting ourselves up. This is a week of, and I don't mean setting ourselves up in a bad way. I mean that it's like we're setting the foundation. All right. I know I'm stumbling over my thoughts and my words and everything because I'm so stuffed up. I'm going to say this because this is what it feels like I'm hearing or feeling in my head right now is this is the week where we do the work to lay the foundation and the energetic foundation to start to step forward into some new unknown aspect. That's the mystery, but it's a sense of balance, and it's bringing us about, I want to say, for some of you, it's a new relationship. That's this Knight Queen combination, or it's a new love of a situation. For some of you, it could be a new love of a job. Whatever this Knight and this Queen feel to me, because they're also facing one another, they feel connected. They feel like they've been waiting to come together. And so now is the time for us to let go of any thoughts or ideas that block us, sort of hunker down, self-care, do the work, let the truths reveal themselves. And all the while we're doing that, maintaining that energy and focus towards that goal. And then watch how not only this week unfolds, but also in the weeks to come. That's the feeling that I'm getting from this reading. I hope that makes sense, you guys. Please, if it did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, tune in tomorrow, and we'll see how this energy changes and what adds to it. And I look forward to seeing you then. Share the video out and leave me a question or comment. And thank you to all of you that tune in. Have a wonderful day and take care. Bye-bye.